I knew that there was a chance that I'd go to Vietnam, but I wasn't like, it was an adventure. It wasn't like I was all that worried about it. I had no concept of the situation there. I had no concept of how bad it was.
Well, then what was the first thing that you experienced in Vietnam that drove home the point to you that you had arrived in a war zone?
Well, I got to Da Nang and had to stay in Da Nang for a couple days doing paperwork and stuff. And they had to assign me. They assigned me down to Chu Lai, down to the 5th Marines, 1st Battalion, 5th Marines. I stayed there for a couple days doing paperwork. Then they put not a lot of us, maybe six guys in a truck, and they went to a place called Tam Key, which was just north or northwest. I can't be sure right now of Chu Lai. And they said, well, you'll stay here at the Tam Key for the night, and then in the morning we'll take you out where you're going. That night, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'm not really sure. Somebody came running into the tent and said, we need stretcher bearers now down the medevac pad. So we threw on some clothes, and there's only two of us in the tent, and ran down to the medevac pad and started humping guys off the helicopters. The guy I was carrying, there's four guys on a stretcher. His battle dressing shifted, and he squirted some blood right on the front of my utility shirt. And I'm just about to faint. I'm just about to faint. But then they got everybody off, and we went back to the tent. I don't believe I slept. Next morning, we had a little slop for breakfast, and went down to the helicopter pad. So we got on the plane, we got on the helicopter, and they were old 34 helicopters, H-34s. The
Mm,
Marine Corps was using them in Korea.
mm,
And you see, even at that time, the Army was driving around all these UEs and gunships and everything.
mm.
And we're going around in these old clunkers left over from Korea that you can fit two pilots up front, you get a crew chief, and you can fit maybe three other guys in there.
Mm.
Okay. So we take off. We're going to a place called Hill 51. It turns out that the Marines were supposed to set up a combat base there. It was out in the middle of the Quai San Valley. So we get out there, and we're way high, and we start coming down in these real tight circles. And I was afraid. I almost fell out of the helicopter. I could hardly hold on with my backpack and everything like that. I thought I was going right out the door, but I didn't. And we got located down. The chopper landed, and the crew chief said, "Yeah, we did it like that because there was quite a bit of sniper fire." And I says, "Okay." So we walk up the hill a little bit. It was on Hill 51, so 51 meters. So it was like 150 feet high. Not very, not a very commanding position. But we got up near the top, and there's about maybe maybe 10 or 12 guys sitting around in a like a circle, kind of a semicircle. And I looked at them, and like they got battle dressings on, and some guys got open wounds. I'm going, wow. It turns out that the company that got hit before that we stretcher buried for was Delta 15, the same company I was going to.
Wow.
So, you know, and just looking at these guys, they were like it was amazing. Then had a big debate about where they were going to stick us in, what squad, what fire team they were going to stick us in. And there was only a couple of us. So they figured it out and they sent us with a runner up to the different places, to the different squads. And I just remember the guys, the guys who were, I know they were staff sergeants and stuff who were, when I met down the bottom of the hill, but as you got up further, they were more the lower ranking and stuff. And they were the same thing. They were bandaged up and they were cleaning weapons. They were eating. They were, you know,
And
sleep.
how long had you been in country by this time? A few
How
days?
long? What?
How long had you been in country by this time?
Oh, less than a week. Less than a week.